Imagine waking up to a world where two dramatic trade conflicts are unfolding simultaneously. Shattering alliances. Redrawing market boundaries. Challenging even the most resilient industries. In one, France has launched a bold counterstrike against new U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum. Europe's patience has run out. Meanwhile, in Canada, a proposed 100% tariff on Tesla vehicles threatens to double the cost of a Model 3 overnight. It rattles the electric vehicle market. As transatlantic alliances fracture, once close partners now look to protect their interests at all costs. The U.S., under domestic pressure to bolster manufacturing, instituted a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports in early 2025. France, seeing this as part of a broader protectionist shift, led the European Union in retaliation. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot declared that Europe would not sit idly by. The EU prepared tariffs on key U.S. products. It explored new Asian partnerships. Washington's policies would be met with equivalent force. At the same time, Canada, historically one of America's closest trade partners, found itself targeted by U.S. tariffs on steel, aluminum, and potentially the automotive sector. In response, Canadian lawmakers debated a shocking countermeasure: a 100% tariff on Tesla vehicles. Given Tesla's dominance of the U.S. EV market, this wasn't just about limiting American car imports. It was a targeted strike against an iconic brand symbolizing American innovation. These disputes mark a fundamental challenge to the global trade system. The U.S.-France conflict risks economic damage on both sides, particularly in the automotive sector. Steel and aluminum prices play a critical role in production costs. French automakers, reliant on affordable materials, face higher prices. Delayed shipments. Disrupted supply chains. Consumers, in turn, could see vehicle costs soar. Meanwhile, France's countermeasures extend beyond tariffs. Paris has moved aggressively to strengthen trade relationships with China. It has secured deals on electric vehicle batteries and green technology. A clear pivot away from U.S. reliance. North America's dispute, centered on Tesla, highlights the precarious state of the EV industry in a world of rising protectionism. The proposed 100% Canadian tariff on Tesla could double the price of a Model 3, making it unaffordable for most consumers. Tesla, which sells an estimated 50,000 units a year in Canada, would face a steep revenue decline. Tesla's troubles could extend beyond Canada. If Canada sets a precedent for using tariffs as a bargaining tool, other nations might follow. This could pressure Tesla to consider local production in Canada. An expensive and logistically challenging proposition. If Tesla absorbs some tariff costs to stay competitive, its profit margins could suffer. Investors may become wary. Expansion plans could slow. France's retaliation against U.S. tariffs casts an even wider net. The EU, already focused on strategic autonomy, sees this as an opportunity to accelerate independence from U.S. and Chinese suppliers. A proposed 25% tariff on American car imports could cut into Ford and General Motors' European sales. If U.S. exports become too expensive, American automakers might have to relocate production. Jobs at home could be affected. Beyond cars, aerospace and industrial machinery manufacturers also face disruption. Retaliatory tariffs could make American exports uncompetitive. The irony in these disputes is clear. All parties claim to prioritize climate action and economic stability. EVs, key to global carbon reduction goals, are now pawns in a trade war. Tesla, a leader in sustainable transport, risks losing a major market. European automakers, investing heavily in electrification, face uncertainty. The global race for battery production further complicates matters. China leads in battery manufacturing. Both Europe and the US aim to reduce reliance on Chinese supply chains. If trade tensions escalate, Europe might strengthen ties with Chinese battery makers. Canada could welcome Chinese EV manufacturers to fill the Tesla void. Such shifts could reshape global supply chains. weakening America's position in the EV revolution. The ramifications for Tesla are immediate. Canada is a significant part of its North American sales. A 100% tariff could force Tesla to reconsider its Canadian operations. Moving production locally is a costly solution. It requires massive investment and workforce adjustments. If Tesla absorbs tariff costs, its stock price and financial health could take a hit. Investors might grow concerned. Tesla's predicament also serves as a cautionary tale for automakers worldwide. If a single tariff in a relatively small market can shake a global brand, it highlights the fragility of modern supply chains. Manufacturers may respond by diversifying production, reducing reliance on cross-border trade, shifting investment strategies. Meanwhile, France's deepening trade ties with China signal broader economic shifts. China's appetite for European automotive technology is growing. Europe's need for critical minerals fuels cooperation. As France and Canada push back against U.S. trade policies, alternative partnerships gain traction. What began as separate disputes could evolve into a larger realignment of economic alliances. Europe and Canada may tilt further toward Asia. For the U.S., the stakes are high. Protectionist measures could shrink American export markets. They could push allies toward competing trade blocs. If key economies like Canada, France, and Germany conclude that U.S. protectionism is permanent, they may pursue deeper trade relationships with China. Sidelining Washington. Reversing decades of globalization. Driving up costs. Limiting consumer choices worldwide. Despite these high tensions, diplomatic solutions remain possible. Negotiations could lead to reduced tariffs, targeted exemptions, compromises that prevent further escalation. France and the US might find middle ground on steel and aluminum duties. Canada and the US could strike a deal to protect Tesla from extreme tariffs. Yet, even if disputes are resolved, trust between these historic partners may be permanently shaken. If tensions escalate further, all sides risk entrenching themselves in economic nationalism. Higher tariffs could make cross-border trade prohibitively expensive, driving up vehicle costs, relocating factories, fragmenting global supply chains. Such an outcome would reverse years of progress in open markets, slow EV adoption, undermine cooperation on climate change. Ultimately, the twin conflicts, France versus the US, and Canada versus Tesla, underscore the fragility of global trade. Protectionist measures, once seen as isolated incidents, now have the power to reshape industries and economies. Even electric vehicles, essential for a greener future, are not immune to geopolitical struggles. The coming months will be critical. Economic nationalism or diplomacy? The choices made today will influence not just the auto industry but global commerce, job markets, and climate policies. The road ahead will be anything but smooth.